President Trump, he's saying that, guys, we don't have a lot of time here. We don't have a whole day to sit here and talk to one another, all right? We have a lot of things going on. I have a lot of things that I need to do. So please, if you could, please just state your name and your country and then move forward. You know what I'm saying? This reminds me when I was studying, you know, in kindergarten or school, and then you stand up, my name is Mika and I am from Africa.
This is the journey to one Africa.
All right, guys, another crazy day. All right, crazy day, crazy updates all the time. They're happening, and this is another meeting between the President of the United States, President Trump, and African leaders. All right, we all know how this meeting goes. Okay, we have seen it with President Ramaphosa. All right, we've seen how the meeting went. We've seen before how the meeting went with the president of Ukraine, not Africa. But today, actually yesterday, Trump invited 5 of African leaders to have meeting with them. And these are the leaders from Gabon, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Mauritania, and Senegal. Diomaye Faye was there as well. All right. He invited 5 different presidents in the same single room to discuss or to talk about everything that is going on. As usual, a lot of presidents of Africa, for instance, the president of Senegal as well, they were, and Gabon to be specifically, they really thank President Donald Trump for what he's doing to Africa, specifically what he has done, you know, between Congo and Rwanda. All right, the tension that was going on, apparently it seems to be cooled down a little bit, and all praise goes to President Trump, and as well as even the president of Gabon actually went a little bit far. He suggested that President Trump deserved to get Peace Nobel Prize because of the peace that he's contributing to the world. So the meeting was kind of very interesting. One of the person actually asked question if Trump is not going to impose tariffs on these 5 countries, and he kind of like jokingly say that, you know, all of these are my friends now, I'm not gonna, you know, put that, we'll see how it goes and all those kind of stuff. But well, 5 you know, African leader went in there to have a conversation with President Trump. Basically, you know that US aid has been cut off, and a lot of African countries has been very dependent on that aid. And now I think United States is looking at the ways on how to collaborate with Africa in a different way and not USA, right? You know, there's been a huge rival between China and United States when it comes to Africa, and I think United States have been trying to remodeling, you know, how they want to partner and how they want to work with Africa. You know, the problem with Africa has always been that, you know, how the world perceives us, how the world treats us. You know, as a result, Africa has been searching and looking for better partners, and currently it seems like China has been good partner to Africa. You know, some of Africans can agree, some of us can disagree, but now it seems like United States as well is trying to get on foot here in Africa. And one of the questions that they asked President Trump as well is that, you know, do you think you're gonna be, you know, visiting Africa? And he said, we'll see how the schedule goes. You know, I think we might have some time to visit Africa. So basically he gave the answer that, you know what, I think we might have some time to get to Africa, to visit Africa. You know, I have a lot of work to do here in the United States, and if I have extra time, I'll see if I can go there. Just based on this answer, I can show you or can tell you how Trump, you know, government perceive Africa. Because if these are people that you're looking at them as equal people, if you're looking at them as people that we can partner business, we can work together, and we can strengthen our country's economy if we put our hands together and work in collaboration, in partnership with one another, then I think, you know, they deserve a little bit of respect, you know what I'm saying? Deserve a little bit of respect. But, you know, the way that he answered this question, it kind of shows that you know, I don't have really time to go to Africa and to visit there. You know, I have a lot of things to do here in the United States. So if I get a time, I'll actually go there and do something. Basically, that's how, you know, he was saying, to be honest. But he was trying to say it in a very respectful manner, but, you know, we can read through his eyes. But that is not why I am here. There's two different extra things, I could say, kind of like weird things for me. I don't know how you guys perceive, but for me, it was kind of weird that I've seen during this meeting. And I'm just going to react on it a little bit right now. So let's jump right into it, okay? 1, 2, go.
Committed to peace, and we've been very lucky within our region. We had a country that had a series of democratic
That's the president
elections,
of Liberia.
and our country had been cooling down. And also, we want to encourage American involvement in the investment in Liberia. Yeah. We'd like to see that happen. We want to work with the United States in peace and security within the region, because we are committed to that. And we just want to thank you so much for this opportunity.
Well, thank you. It's such good English, such beautiful. Where did you learn to speak so beautifully? Where were you educated? Where?
Yes, sir.
In Liberia.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's very interesting. That's beautiful English.
Sure.
I have people at this table can't speep nearly as well.
Very good, sir. Thank you.
They come from here, so thank you very much.
All right, guys. I think you've seen that. So basically, the president of Liberia, he was kind of like, you know, talking and sharing all the stuff. And President Trump was shocked. He was shocked that the president of Liberia can speak good English. He was shocked. And what he said, I have a lot of people in this desk and they cannot nearly speak as good English as yours. And he said they are from, he hesitated a little bit, and also they kind of cut down the audio. Did you see that? They cut down the audio because I think he was about to say they're not from Africa, but they kind of like cut down the audio so we cannot really hear what he wanted to say. But then he said they come from here. You know what I'm saying? He had a little bit. He stuck a little bit, and then he said they're coming from here. Well, some can say that, you know, it's just, you know, to be honest, personally, sometimes I love how President Trump, how raw he is and how upfront he is about everything. He confront, he say, you know, what comes to his head, the first thing just comes to his head, he just go ahead and say it. But in another way, this was very weird. You know what I'm saying? This is the president of the country, and you know, he's speaking English, of course, but English is not the mother tongue of a lot of African countries. They're not even the mother tongue of a lot of, you know, countries around the world. So, you know, I might be the president of a country, I might be coming from whatever, and I don't speak good English. And that should not be a big of news. That should not be a big of a deal, because, you know, English is not my first language. So if you guys tell me that, you know what, you suck, your English is broken, it doesn't even hurt me, because it's not my first language. My first language is Swahili. I'm coming from Tanzania, so I speak Swahili. That was kind of weird to me, on how, you know, and he was like, you know, where are you educated? You know, where did you receive your education? I bet he was thinking that he got his education in the United States. So he said from Liberia, and he was like, wow. So guys, even in Africa, we actually learn, you know, languages, and we actually study, and actually we can, you know, I don't even know how to say this, but okay, let's jump to a second video to show you another weird moment that happened during this meeting. All right, let's
fishing
go.
And whatnot. I don't want to spend too much time on this.
But I appreciate it very much. I appreciate it. Maybe we're going to have to go a little bit quicker than this because we have a whole schedule. If I could just say, you know, your name and your country would be great. Thank you, please.
Guys, all right, guys. This is the meeting between 5 presidents of Africa and 1 president of the United States. You know what I'm saying? And the first president, he started to explain himself and everything, a little bit of introduction, because this is the time that they're giving just the introduction. You know what I'm saying? And President Trump, he's saying that, guys, we don't have a lot of time here. We don't have a whole day to sit here and talk to one another, all right? We have a lot of things going on. I have a lot of things that I need to do. So please, if you could, please just state your name and your country and then move forward. You know what I'm saying? This reminds me when I was studying, you know, in kindergarten or school, and then you stand up, my name is Mika and I am from Africa. You know what I'm saying? My name is Mika and I'm from Tanzania. And then you see, that's exactly what you want from this president. You know, to be honest, I don't know what you guys can say, but based on this meeting, one of them, and a lot of other meetings that I see, I think this is what I see. I see, obviously, Trump sees himself as superior to everybody else that is going there. First of all, he started with the notion. This is what he said. He said, you know, this overall office is the best place on earth. There's nothing like this. That's how we actually open up. You know, it's okay. It's good to brag about your country. It's good to brag about things that you have. It's good to brag about that. It is okay. It is good. But in the presence of the presidents, 5 presidents of Africa, obviously it shows, you know, what you think about all these guys who came here. Second, telling them that you should introduce your name and your country, where you're coming from. Again, as if like nobody knows where these presidents are coming from. Again, it shows that you don't really want to hear whatever that they want to say. You just want to get things done. So why did you invite them in the Oval Office if you just want the name and their country and that's it? All right, it shows how he thinks about this. Third, thinking that, oh, you're speaking very good English. Where did you get education from? All right, I have a lot of guests in here and they cannot speak good English like that. Where are you coming from? It shows, you know, what he thinks about type of education that Africans are getting, type of education that we're getting from the continent. And to be honest, it's right, because to be honest, sometimes, you know, education sucks, whatever, but, you know, in our countries, we have good education, we have good people, we have good schools, we have people who can speak English, we have people who cannot speak English, we have people who can speak their own language. I think now it is the time for President Trump to visit Africa. I really think, because I think he needs to come and to see, because I think he has a lot of stereotypes about Africa that they need to be washed away, you know what I'm saying? And the only way to do that is to come to Africa, all right, to come down, not when my schedule is okay. No, I mean, if you want Africa to partner with you, to be, you know, partners, to collaborate with one another, then I think it's about time. And I think it's about time for African leaders as well to understand this, that, you know, what if you invited him to come to your country? But honestly, inviting 5 leaders, this was like a little summit. You know what I'm saying? You don't even, what are you going to say there? You have 5 leaders of 5 African countries sitting on the same chairs. I mean, on the same room. What are you going to say? What are you even going to say? This is not one-on-one. This is like 5 against 1, you know? This is 1 against 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even see how this meeting went. I don't even think that, you know, anything was done there. But it just shows how low of ourselves we think we are. And I don't know, for me, I really have a weird feeling about this. Well, you know, perhaps I'm thinking too much about this. So please let me know, guys, in the comment section, what do you think about what went over in the Oval Office of these 5 different presidents from Africa and the president of the United States? It kind of felt like Africa-US summit, or I should say US-Africa summit. It kind of seems like that, you know, because you have 5 there against 1, and he invited all of them at the first time. I think, and this is another thing I think this president sent request that, hey, we would like to meet to talk about business, and then he decided to put all of them together to have this, you know, single meeting. That's what I think. That, okay, you want, all right, 5 of you come, and let's sit down and meet. And that's why this is the time. If 5 presidents of Africa can go and sit down together with President of Trump, I think this is the time for Africa to be united and to have the same thing. You know what I'm saying? To have the same thing. So it will be Africa and United States, Africa and China, Africa and whatsoever, but not all these, you know, different countries together, and then we come, because you guys can come together. Apparently, you can come together as one people and have single meeting with the president of the United States. Why not unite your countries? Why not unite ourselves? and have the better outcome for our continent. I think this is the time. We need to be, if President Trump can unite 5 different presidents of Africa in the single room and talk to them, guys, we cannot do it. Apparently all of our things we want, you know, them to do it for us. But we as Africans, we can do it. We can sit together as one Africa and figure out, man, we don't want somebody else to come and to unite us. We need to unite ourselves, you know, because this has to come to us. The unit of Africa, it has to come from Africans. And this is about time to do that. Guys, please let me know what you think in the comment section, and I appreciate your thoughts and yeah, everything. One Africa, one passport right now.